Okay, week 18, financing part 1. So we're going to compile your paperwork, you're going to check your credit report, you're going to make sure your bills are paid on time, and you're going to avoid big purchases, and you're going to put together a bunch of references. Okay? This is something that you need to do. We're going to build your package for your lender. This is part 1. Okay, so I found some interesting quotes here. This one resonated really big on my radar because I actually truly believe that age is what you think of it. You are as old as you think you are. I have such a hard time because most of the time I feel, and a lot of times I have to remember to not act like a 17-year-old kid. Right? And a lot of times I get into trouble because of the way I feel. I just blurt out whatever comes to mind. People tell me I have no filter. So I'll just blurt out whatever comes to mind like a kid would. Right? So sometimes it gets me into trouble. But once you get to know me, hopefully you can ignore when I have no filter. Okay, so compile your paperwork. It's not very complicated. You need your most recent pay stub, if you have a pay stub. Last 3 months bank statements. Okay? Your last 2 years tax returns. This is pretty standard. And the reason why I'm telling you is that if you don't have this, you better go get it. Okay? Now, for those that are self-employed, it's a little more complicated because they are going to want to see your company bank statements as well. And they're going to want to see, if you're operating a business the way you should be operating it, is that money comes out of your business into your personal account. And that's how they're going to relate to how much money you make. So if you have 2 accounts and you're constantly moving money from one account to the other, and you're like, I got to take money from my personal account to cover my checks that I'm paying out of my business account, and I got to do the same thing for my personal account, that is a mess, and you better stop doing that. Because no lender will lend you money based on that. So you could be self-employed. You can have not very good income because you're writing off a lot of things. But if they can see that you're organized and you can separate your business expenses from your personal expenses, and they can see a check going from your business account into your personal account, right? Then it can be justified. So what I do is I transfer from my business account to my personal account 1 check at the beginning of the month. And it goes into my personal account. And then you can see my personal account that all my personal bills come out of that account. So I don't have, my business doesn't pay for a lot of my personal stuff. Right? My business pays for a bunch of personal stuff, but they're business expenses. Okay?
So that's actually your salary, the salary that your business is paying you. Would you use that?
You could justify it as that.
Okay, that's the terminology I would use.
Okay.
And what about yourself? Are you using that terminology?
Sure. Yes. To keep things simple,
Dario?
yes. To keep things simple, yes. There's things I won't talk in front of the camera, but to keep things simple, yes.
Right.
So you can assume that if you did that, it could be considered your salary from your business. Okay? We can if just to touch on it very, very briefly, if your business paid your credit card and then you use your credit card to pay your bills and your living expenses, then it's not income. Okay?
I guess I'd have to have coffee with you to
Because those expenses, as long as you don't write off those expenses in your business and your business pays taxes on them, they're paid to you with after-tax dollars, and it could be a gift or it could be used to pay off debt. So it could be a corporate credit card, right? There's nothing wrong with your company paying for your dinners as long as you're not writing off your dinners when they're not business dinners,
Right. Uh-huh.
right?
So it's either through the company or it's the write-off.
It's where the tax is being paid,
Right. Mm-hmm.
right? So if it's not a write-off, somebody's got to pay tax for it. If it's not you, it's got to be your business. So your business can pay for your personal car. Well, no, it can't. Well, yeah, it can. It can. It can. As long as you don't get a benefit for it, a taxable benefit. But anyways, it's like complicated tax stuff, and I don't want to go into it. So does anybody have any questions about that? No? Simple?
No, definitely not simple, but I think perhaps we get the basics. I get the basics.
Well, forget about the tax stuff. Okay? Just focus on, this is the simple paperwork you've got to get together
Yeah,
for a loan.
I have this. I already have
Okay? So you've got to have it, but you've got to have it current.
Yeah, yeah,
Okay?
I do.